If you've ever made hating backup iron sights part of your entire personality, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, Average, APA formatted essay for Change in the Army Enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is I'm going to be showing you a brief snippet into my professional life as a soldier, a drill sergeant leader, etc., right? As a senior non-commissioned officer in the infantry. And keep in mind, as today's video does not represent the Department of Defense or the United States Army or the infantry branch, it does represent me. And I have been committing a lot of hours as a drill sergeant leader. Drill sergeant leader, that is a person that instructs drill sergeants, right? As I am finishing up my 3rd year on the trail right now, and I'm about to move on to bigger and better things within the next 6 months. I have been tasked with writing a paper to try to make change in the Army. Now, as some of these details are secret and more sensitive, I can't divulge everything, but I can read you the paper that I wrote, and I can divulge why I feel so strongly against backup iron sights. So, real quick, like the video, comment down below, anything. Leave a combat llama in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on wasting 740 hours for a standard drill sergeant, that's POI hours, by the way, actively shooting and instructing on backup iron sights. Let me know how much of a waste of time that is when the United States Marine Corps issues a ACOG, that's a rifle combat optic, TA-31 to every single Marine recruit that shows up to Marine Corps Recruit Depot. So I'm going to give you guys some data. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you leave a combat llama or literally any emoji down below. It helps out. I'm on the journey to get to 40,000 subscribers right now. When we get there, we are going to conduct a epic burn down with a SIG spear. It's going to break the bank, but it'll be worth it. So make sure you're actually subscribed. And if you want to support monetarily, there will be links for that down below. Okay. So before I read you my paper that I wrote, that is that I'm trying to help the Army make change, right? I can't divulge where or how, but just understand I'm trying with some people that, just understand this is the reason why. The buoys, okay, the backup iron sighting system that goes on the M4A1 carbine specifically. The average drill sergeant spends 30.83 days from start to finish. If you do the minimum time required is 30.83 days for the average drill sergeant from start to finish that you will spend from 3 years on the trail. That is 740 hours of lesson plan time instructing just buoys by itself, just the backup iron sighting system by itself, or shooting on the range with the trainees or the drill sergeant candidates. That's what I instruct. I'm a drill sergeant leader, so I instruct drill sergeant candidates. I did instruct trainees, but now I instruct future drill sergeants, right? They have to go through a modified basic. It's a whole deal. But that's neither here nor there. What the point is, we instruct for 740 hours on just the backup iron sights alone. And the Marine Corps is already tracking that this is a mistake, and they have already started issuing, for the past couple years now, rifle combat optics, that's ACOGs, to every single Marine recruit to prepare them for modern combat. 1 second. So, with all that in mind, also, one more fact I want to spit on you. For one cycle alone, the average company will expend at least 64,000 rounds in basic combat training. 64,000 rounds, give or take based on what brigade or battalion you're in, but POI, 64,000 rounds. Now, if you times that by 4, that's roughly 250,000 rounds per company per year. I'm not going to really give you exact numbers, but there are a lot of companies going through training at any time, roughly 6 per battalion. So 250 times 100,000 times 6 times multiple brigades. That is a lot of M855 Alpha 1. That is 740 hours per drill sergeant of instruction. We are talking a lot of money, okay? We are talking a lot of money being wasted. We are talking about a lot of bullets being burned for no reason. So, with all that, as I've prepped the battlefield on why I feel so strongly, now you know, in just one company in 1 year, 250,000 rounds You can do the math across the entire Army for just basic combat training. We're not even talking about FORSCOM right now. Keep in mind, I don't represent the Army or the Department of Defense or my unit or anybody but me. But let's get into my paper and show you guys a deep, a sneak peek into something that I'm trying to do at work to try to help the future of the Army and the future of the country out. So let's just get right into it. Bear with me as I might pause or stumble on my words. I'm just going to read my paper as we go, and you guys can comment down below your thoughts and pause it and maybe rewind it if you need to hear things again. Okay, here we go. Targeting excellence. Modernizing rifle marksmanship at the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy. Sergeant First Class Trench, United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, 7 May 2025. Abstract. The U.S. Army's continued reliance on the Maytac backup iron sight buoys for the M4A1 has become increasingly untenable in the face of modern combat demands. Originally intended as a temporary solution during the transition from the M16A2's durable carry handle rear sight aperture, the buoys lacks the robustness and precision required for today's dynamic battlefields. The M16A2 began being widely replaced by the M4 carbine equipped with the buoys in the early 2000s, with the transition accelerating during Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom. By 2008, the vast majority of the M16A2s equipped with carry handles had been replaced by the M4 carbine equipped with buoys. Buoys are backup iron sights. These buoys were never intended on being used as a primary sighting system, nor did the Department of the Army ever intend on these sights being used on a marksmanship evaluation. This paper argues that the M68 Aimpoint Close Combat Optic, CCO, should be the minimum acceptable standard for all Army optics, with the Rifle Combat Optic Trijicon ACOG TA31 serving as the best current choice for all soldiers on the battlefield of 2025. Furthermore, it emphasizes the necessity for the U.S. Army Drill Sergeant Academy to revise its lesson plans and programs of instruction, POI, to align with contemporary combat requirements, drawing insights from the U.S. Marine Corps' successful integration of the RCO into their training programs as the Marine recruits standard issue optic. Introduction. The evolution of warfare necessitates continuous adaptation of military training and equipment. One area requiring urgent attention is the standardization of optics training within the United States Army. The current reliance on backup iron sights for the M4A1 carbine is a vestige of past transitions and does not meet the operational demands of modern combat. The backup iron sight was used by the United States Army as a transitional sighting option, while the M4 carbine was widely being adopted beginning in 2001. This decision was due to the cost per unit of the backup iron sight being approximately $30 to $50, while the cost for the desired rifle combat optic ranged from $1,000 to $1,200. This paper contends that the backup iron sight is an outdated and unacceptable optic selection, advocating for the CCO as the minimum acceptable standard and the RCO as the U.S. Army's optimal choice. It further argues for the revision of training protocols at the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy to reflect these changes, taking lessons learned from the United States Marine Corps' approach to modern optics integration. What's up, Night Hawk? Hello. Love you. The limitations of the buoys. The buoys was rapidly adopted during the United States Army's transition from the M16A2 as a wartime necessity, which featured a more durable carry handle rear sight. Unlike the M16A2's integrated sight, the backup iron sight is a detachable component mounted on the M4A1's Picatinny rail. This design choice, while being modular and user-friendly, introduced several significant drawbacks and reliability concerns. The backup iron sight lacks the following qualities: structural integrity of its predecessor, a reliable zero retention system due to spring-loaded internal components, and a larger, more accurate rear sight aperture, often referred to as the O2 or OT2 sight, that could be adjusted for close quarters battle use. Reports Reports have indicated that the backup iron sight can become loose or misaligned, especially under the rigors of combat conditions. Furthermore, the backup iron sight's smaller aperture and shorter sight radius compromise aiming precision, particularly at extended ranges. These limitations hinder a soldier's ability to engage targets effectively, reducing combat effectiveness. Additionally, the backup iron sight was never intended for long-term use. It was conceived by the Department of Defense in 1997 to 1999 as a temporary sighting solution until more advanced optics could become standardized. However, its continued use as a primary sighting system in some training environments contradicts this original intent and fails to prepare soldiers for the realities of modern warfare. The case for the M68 close combat optic. The M68 CCO, designated as Aimpoint Comp N2 and later the Comp N4, represents a significant advancement over iron sights. It is a non-magnifying red dot sight that allows for rapid target acquisition and engagement with both eyes open, enhancing situational awareness. The optic is parallax-free at approximately 50 meters, ensuring that the point of aim remains consistent regardless of eye position. Moreover, the CCO is compatible with night vision devices, making it more versatile across various operational scenarios. The durability of the CCO is another critical advantage. Constructed to withstand harsh conditions, it has been tested extensively in combat environments. The U.S. Army has procured over 1 million units with no notable reliability issues to report. 1 million units with no notable reliability issues to report. The close combat optic variant boasts an impressive battery life of up to 8 years on a single AA lithium battery. That's at the lowest brightness setting, reducing logistical burdens and ensuring readiness. These characteristics collectively make the CCO a reliable and effective optic, justifying its adoption as the minimum acceptable standard for all Army trainees, soldiers, and drill sergeant candidates. The superiority of the rifle combat optic. While the CCO addresses many limitations of the backup iron sight, the rifle combat optic offers further enhancements that serve the demands of modern combat. The U.S. Army has procured approximately 188,000 total units with no notable reliability issues to report. The rifle combat optic 4 times magnification, the RCO 4 times magnification optic provides increased target identification and engagement capabilities at extended ranges. Its illuminated reticle, powered by both fiber optics and tritium, ensures excellent visibility in various lighting conditions without relying on batteries. The rifle combat optics fixed magnification and bullet drop compensator reticle enable accurate shot placement at distances of up to 700 meters. 800 meters if you're using a squad automatic weapon. Its rugged construction has proven resilient in harsh environments, and its integration into the United States Marine Corps' recruit training as a standard issue optic reflects its effectiveness. The adoption of the rifle combat optic as the ideal optic choice would enhance the lethality and survivability of soldiers worldwide. Enhanced accuracy capabilities. The integration of advanced optics such as the CCO and RCO has significantly improved the minute of angle MOA accuracy for both the U.S. Army soldiers and Marines. The Department of Defense mandates a 2-to-4 MOA standard for service rifles and their associated optics, ensuring a balance between precision and durability in combat scenarios. The CCO, a non-magnifying red dot, enables rapid target acquisition with both eyes open, maintaining an accuracy of approximately 2 MOA at 100 meters. This level of precision allows for effective engagement of targets up to 300 meters, aligning with the United States Army's standard engagement distances. In contrast, the RCO, with its Its fixed 4x magnification offers enhanced target identification and engagement capabilities at extended ranges. The empirical data indicates that shooters using the RCO can achieve groupings within a 1.5 MOA standard at 100 meters, translating to consistent hits on man-sized targets at distances up to 500 meters. The adoption of the optics directly addressed the limitation put forth in the buoy system. The backup iron sight system lacks rapid target acquisition and fast follow-up shots required on the modern battlefield. The shooter can remain target focused, giving him greater field of view and understanding his target when utilizing the CCO or RCO. The backup iron sight requires the soldier to remain front sight focused, which causes significant increase in engagement time and accuracy on target. The United States Marine Corps' integration of the RCO. The United States Marine Corps has recognized the advantages of the RCO and has integrated it into their training and operational protocols. Recruits are issued the rifle combat optic during initial rifle training, allowing them to become proficient with the equipment they will use in combat, enhancing their effectiveness and confidence. The U.S. Marine Corps' decision to prioritize the RCO over backup iron sights in training reflects a commitment to modernize their force. By focusing on the optic that will be used on the battlefield, the Marine Corps ensures that its personnel are trained on utilizing the tools that will provide a tactical advantage. This strategy has contributed to the Marine Corps' reputation for marksmanship, excellence, and operational readiness. Every Marine a rifleman, is a quote. Implications for training at the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy. To align with the evolving battlefield, the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy must revise its lesson plans and POI to incorporate training on advanced optics. An estimated 720 hours of POI is currently being invested annually on the instruction and implementation of backup iron sights at the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy. Current training that emphasizes the backup iron sights does not adequately prepare drill sergeant candidates for the equipment their trainees will use in operational settings. Focusing future instruction on the CCO and RCO will ensure that soldiers are proficient with these systems before stepping foot on the battlefield. Furthermore, updated training protocols should include maintenance procedures, zeroing techniques, and tactical employment of these optics. This massive shift in focus of POI will enhance drill sergeant candidates' confidence and effectiveness in combat scenarios, ultimately contributing to mission success for our Army. Conclusion. Continued reliance on the M4A1 backup iron sight as a primary sighting system is incongruent with the operational demands of modern warfare. The close combat optic and rifle combat optic offer significant advantages in terms of accuracy, durability, and versatility. To maintain combat readiness and effectiveness, the United States Army must standardize these optics and ensure that prestigious training institutions like the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy reflect this standardization. By adopting a training approach similar to that of the United States Marine Corps, the United States Army can better prepare its soldiers for the challenges of contemporary combat environments. This will defend. Guys, I have a number of resources, okay, that I've cited here. I'll just kind of pause here. If anyone that's super interested can pause the screen right there, okay? And make sure I show everything here. Boom. Okay? All right, guys. So keep in mind, this is just my personal opinion. This is my personal approach. This does not represent the Department of Defense, United States Army, the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy in any way. This only represents Trench Grenade, right? And an effort that I am trying to make to help better the United States Army, help better the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, help better POI, lesson plans, and basic combat training POI. Now, I went over why. I went over the massive amount of waste that I see or I view as waste. I went over the numbers, the rough estimates by company. I went over the amount of POI hours being wasted. Keep in mind, regardless of your opinions, this is what I've seen from my foxhole. You guys might have different opinions, but If you do not actually do this for a living, keep in mind, as my dog hydrates or dies forever, keep in mind if you don't do this for a living, you might have a different opinion. But if you're sitting on the couch and your opinion is something different than mine and you have not walked the walk, then you might not want to try to talk the talk. So keep it, all the things I've said today, keeping all that in mind. Let me know your comments down, or your thoughts and comments down below in the comment section. I look forward to reading those comments. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of guys that are so passionate about the backup iron sight, but they haven't fired more than 5,000 rounds, or I would say less than that even, ever, through a backup iron sight sighting system. So just take that with a grain of salt. There will be internet keyboard commandos down below. Okay, guys, that's a lot of talking. I've talked a lot. You haven't talked at all. I look forward to reading your comments down below. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button and do all the things in the description below. And until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average combat llama emoji down below, enjoyer that your mom says. We have a home signing out. Cheers. Okay, guys, if you got this far, that means you're a serious fan. If you're a serious fan, you should consider donating $5 a month to the Patreon channel, and that may or may not get you access to a closed private Discord server where you can find buddies to train with, game with, stay up late, and talk about all your favorite backup iron sight stories. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the Patreon.